Oh yay, I'm doing this again. Alright. Well, I'm gonna wait for people. I type fast. This is probably gonna be only me. Pressing. Let me do something beautiful. Very beautiful. Now we wait. Oof. Hey sis, how you doing? I don't have any screen recorder yet, cause you know that's how I am. But yeah. Whoop-de-doo. Is that your answer to how you're feeling? The E and H? Eh. Hey Abby. Lonely. Why do I always misspell lonely? Look at me over here. Oof. You know, working on stories, working on art. Still need to finish with the Emporites with you, but you know, that's always on my own time and everything. I'm still a lot behind on schoolwork, and I want to get it all in before I just have to I don't want to fail, basically. I don't want to repeat a grade. I don't want to be a ninth grade repeater. You're nipping at my heels, but I'm young, soiled, running. Bad girl talking fast, talking dirty. He tells me that I'm hot, so I tell him that I love him. And he says, "'Cause you're right." Never mean what they say. Got a renegade heart, and it's screaming his name. Then it beats like you've got time to kill, honey. Don't go jump the gun. Live fast while you're young, honey. Don't go chasing love, chasing love. Hey sis, can you go to my DeviantArt? and like send this link to everybody on there. Like, dang it, how would I do this? I'd probably have to send you my password and everything on Hangouts. My phone died and everything though, so yeah. Oof. Let me just turn on my phone to make this, possible. My singing is terrible though. I wish people would like request something for me to sing so that they can see actually how terrible I am. Oof. 'Cause all I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves on my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Hitting the clouds, but your gravity centered. Touch my neck and I'll touch yours. You in those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, you know what to think about. You know what to think about. Your love to house. What love. Oof, I said the lyrics so wrong. Just as you find out, nothing I really want to tell you about. No, no, no. 'Cause it's too cold for you here. Now, so let me hold both your hands in whole summer sweater. And I may just take your breath away. I don't mind if it's not much to say. Sometimes I can't remember the song. These hearts adore everything goes these hearts for. Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause it's so cold for you here. And now, so let me hold. Hey Abby, how you doing? I wonder, will YouTube be nice to me? It probably won't, so oh well. I don't know why in the last live stream I didn't make you a moderator, sis. That's actually kind of rude of me. Sorry. YouTube isn't responding. Do you want to close it? Okay. When you look for something in your pocket, but you're just really, really fat and you can't get it out. So yeah, you gotta bend in all sorts of different ways and it feels very, very awkward. When you realize you've been looking in the wrong pocket the entire time. How about you just take a big ol' oof? Or when you realize that no, you weren't looking in the wrong pocket, you're just looking in the wrong place completely, so oh my god, where it be? So annoying when you lose something. Okay, let's see. Yes, okay, phone, am I allowed to go to YouTube? Please, a little me go to YouTube. That would be very, very nice. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Who's in here? When you want to click my channel. See volume, okay, down all the way. Yes, come on, video. Loading, loading, loading. Please. It would be very nice if you loaded. Gotta go, my computer and phone are glitching. Okay, bye, sis. I love you a lot. Mwah. Wow. Wow. This is gonna continue repeating, isn't it? Not anymore. I'm just gonna let it be. And I'm gonna keep going ahead and ahead and ahead and ahead. And I'm gonna turn the volume down, that way nobody hears me except for me. And this will be nice. When everything is annoying about everyone in your house, but oh well, you'll just live through it. It'll be nice. Justin, you good? Yeah, sure. Let's see what you up to, boy. Waiting on doctor. Okay. He's waiting on the doctor. I can take my headphones out. Okay. Let's see what we're doing. I wonder if it's too loud now. Oof. It will certainly be a good change. Or just a big change anyway. Probably what I'm gonna be working on is a big story. Well, not a big story, just like a little short story that I can read to people. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm on a live stream. Hi. They can't hear you, but I can hear you. Hi, Abby. Like I was saying, my phone shut down. Okay, she was using me in the basics of terms. A lot of people would use me for my art and that would just like be really wrong and everything. But she went a little bit further. Instead of like using me for my art, she tried using me for my ideas. And every single time, I would come up with something new, she would then try to say, "Oh no, I came up with that," and it got really annoying, especially because she was older than me, and I didn't know how to deal with it because like respect your elders and all that. It was just highly taught in this house, so no, no, Abby, not Bella. Bella's not the only one who would steal my ideas. Which, by the way, if we're going to talk about an interesting topic, how about we do talk about Bella? I would not know where to start though. Bella is a little kid who bullied me throughout middle school physically, and I basically took it because I was taller than her and I was older than her, and I didn't want to like hurt her or anything, and even though she kept like kicking me and like punching me, she would only do that, by the way, because like I would hold secrets from her. But like the secrets, she wasn't even a friend that's really really close to me, so I don't really understand why she would like want to know anything about my life. I guess and the main reason is like I'm not kidding when I tell you they the main reason that they just dang it. I mean, I would have smacked her back, but like I said, I didn't have the courage back then that I do actually have now. And I still wouldn't hit her now because, you know, I have the mindset to not hit her now. But back then I was very I just wasn't confident because like I said, 8th grade was like the bad years of me. Well, listen, when you're like listen, if you're like almost 5 foot, no, let me talk, okay? um, she she would always like hit me like she wasn't even close to me. But you know the main reason I didn't want to like hit her is because I was like really really taller than her. She was like barely 4 foot, and I didn't want to do anything with that. And you know, eventually she got in trouble though. She had left a mark on my knee. My knee almost buckled out from under me when she like basically kicked me. And I went to the nurse and they like checked it and everything. It still kind of hurt a lot, and so I put ice on it. But she got sent to the guidance office with me because they had physical proof. Like they took a picture of it and everything. And they told me to go play, and they called her up there. She acted really, really mean to me too. And I didn't understand it. Like I was like, "You kicked me. Obviously, you get punishment." And yeah, she got put up there. I remember her saying sometime in 9th grade, which is this year, that her mom was very angry at me for actually doing that because like they got called up to like the office, and I said, well, technically she shouldn't be angry at me. She should be angry at you because you were the one who kicked me. So you know.
Start to me or touch me,
What?
go after them like crazy, like beat them up. Like I'm not gonna let myself get hit or just because I'm tall and just that. But what was
well, I mean, I was always afraid
to get off of my life or package. Forget that.
I was always afraid too because when I was younger, I kid you not, I would okay, this is gonna be really bad. This is gonna be really bad, but as I was a little kid, I would always take tiny animals, and I mean just like frogs and lizards, and I would murder them. And you know, eventually I got to learning that that wasn't really good or morally right. And yeah, I've stopped now, and I actually have a heart to just not do it anymore. And like it really hurts if I do it, but you know, she like I was always afraid of hurting people like very very badly, like to the point of death, especially people who were little. And like that scared me almost half to death. Huh?
It's like for me it's different. Like I like fighting, so like really bad.
Yes.
But I fight with my big brother and he's like 6'2" and I'm 5'7".
Wow. When I was little, I would always like play with my cousins on the trampoline. But when I say play, I mean that I would throw them over my shoulder and then throw them off the trampoline and then get in trouble.
Me and him, we fight like bad, like punches. Like someone has to bleed, so someone to stop.
She makes stuff up about us at the table. Oh, believe me, I know. And like today, she was very bratty with what she said today. She kept putting her 2 cents in because I was talking about the movie that I had seen, and its title was Breadwinner. And I talked about how sometimes feminism does need to be recognized in some countries because that could, you know, get women some rights. If I'm like thinking of it like I should be, I'm probably not because I've never really looked up feminism or anything like that. But she started putting her 2 cents in, and I said, like, over there, they don't really have, like, in the Middle East. And she's like, Saudi Arabia. Like that when I said some women over there don't have rights. And she's like, Saudi Arabia. And I said, yeah, please, hey, yeah, no, stop it. And, like, don't put your 2 cents in. I told her this once, and then I told her it twice, and then I told her it 3 times. And then I looked at her, and I kid you not, she's complained about her mother so many times about being so mean to her and being so horrible to her. And I'll mind you, like, just I want you to know that she I've had to deal with her for many, many years. and she's complained about her mother being mean to her, how her mother doesn't like her, anything like that. So when she finally put me to the breaking point today, instead of hurting her or like doing anything too bad, I said, and I turned to her and I said this: I can see why your mom doesn't like you. You never know when to shut up. I'm like, oh my god. I felt so savage, but also so bad at the same time. But, you know, she kind of deserved it because I've dealt with her for years and, you know, I've, like, taken everything for years and I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I just had to stand up for myself at least once.
Don't hurt her, so just, like, use your words to hurt her. That's more like, that's the enjoy. Like, you will enjoy that shit. I swear, like, you're not gonna hurt physically, but mentally, you can break her down. Like,
she actually just, like, stared at me for a moment, and then she just, like, she rolled her eyes, and because, like, she had nothing left to say, because she knew it was true.
If you think about more, like, there's a lot of problems with her.
And, like, here's the thing.
You have to pay attention really good.
Yeah.
And you will see everything, what she does wrong, like what she doesn't like. So that you just look at her, like, don't look at her. Sometimes just pick at her, like,
yeah.
You would like she's doing something wrong.
Like she's picked at me before. I'm gonna tell you like a really bad story about her. It was 8th grade summer. Well, actually the last few days of 8th grade, and I was feeling really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was feeling really good. I was talking with my two friends. We had just all made up, and you know, I forgave Bella for everything that she did, and you know, just like everything. And I was just giving her a new chance and everything, which was a big mistake. But you know, I learned my lesson. And she one of my friends, I'll call her Souls, stopped talking. And I didn't understand why. I thought I had done something wrong, and I wanted it to like be fixed because I'm like, no, this was our day. Like it was going so awesome, and like I just wanted to be back the way it was. And she just stayed quiet, so I got worried over that. And then Bella, who I thought was like one of my best friends at that point, stopped talking too. And I looked at her and I tried talking to her. And, like, we didn't talk for a while, so I went back to, like, my homeroom, like, 'cause, yeah. And, then, you know, Bella came up to me at, lunch, that day, and she said, the reason she stopped talking to you is because she just doesn't want to talk to you anymore, that you're talking to other people more than her. Okay, Abby, I'll see you. You're talking to other people more than her. And she sounded just very, very toxic, and I didn't know what to do because I really had no friends, and I didn't know what to do. You think I can actually go up to a person and say something? No, I can't. Not at that point, at least. Because I was, like, really deep down. Like, 8th grade was the worst grade that I ever had. Like, I was very harmful to myself.
Like, my grade was, like, 6. Like, it was really bad, like...
Yeah. Because, like, the thing is, it started throughout middle school. I think, like, what happened in middle school that, you know, just, like, broke out. I think, I don't want to talk about it because, you know, it's something that I'm just not ready to admit yet because of how, like, the reaction was. And,
and we can talk about it if you needed to, but I know today's not the right moment, so...
And,
let's know, like...
Through 8th grade, it was just, like, through middle school, it was just, like, it started off 6th grade, there was just a little bit of sadness, and, you know, I would get sad, and then I would be okay. And, you know, like, I'd feel so great when I was okay. And 7th grade got around to the time where everyone would recognize me as, like, the really happy kid, the really crazy kid. And, that was when they started, you know, I don't get it, like, why they just didn't like me because I was happy and, you know, very excited and hyper. And that was just me. You think people would like positivity. I guess I was just too positive. So yeah, I got really sad then, and everything just like kept getting worse and worse until the beginning of 8th grade. And, you know, I said, this is my redemption year. I will not do anything. And it was all bull, okay? Because as soon as like the thing,
like two negatives makes not positive, but if a negative and a positive makes a negative. So this is not what happened there. It's just like you will think like people like put you down more, but I think so you have to like just be yourself. Like don't give a fuck what people say about you. Just be you. If someone's sad, fuck them. You're happy, they're sad.
Mm-hmm.
But like the really thing I don't like, what would you be like? What would you like? I can say this shit. Okay. What would you change how you are? Like just be yourself, and they like you. They don't like you. You will find the people who likes you. Stick with them. Don't like go with the people who doesn't like you.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you shouldn't really change yourself for anybody. You should just always, like, stay yourself and be proud of who you are.
Yeah.
But, in 8th grade, it got really bad, though, because, I started realizing that, no, I couldn't really run away from the sadness, and it wasn't something that I could really just put behind me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, it got to the point where I couldn't ignore it. And sometimes I would most days I woke up crying because I didn't know why. I just did. And like that was one of the big like, oh, there might be something wrong here kind of thingies that happened. But I decided to ignore it. I just ignored it. Cause hey, that's not me. I'm supposed to be positive. This is my redemption year. And I ignored it and ignored it and ignored it and ignored it until it got to the worst point. And like I said, it was the end of 8th grade year. See, I went home after that day, like having nobody and like being alone and everything and feeling horrible. And I I felt really horrible, but at the same time I said, I have strength. I will go tomorrow and I will show them I will be a good kid. It didn't happen that way. In fact, it got worse as the night wore on. I guess because I had enough time to think about it. And I realized that most of the thoughts that were circling around my head were not really good thoughts. And it got to the point where I was just giving up, I guess. And it got really it's just really tough, and I didn't know what to do that night. So I went to Bella's text messages, because sometimes I did this. Sometimes I would like say something, and I wouldn't know if like I was actually serious or not. And I sent her like a little note, and it was kind of like it was kind of like a hey, I'm leaving forever kind of note. And I woke up in the morning that after everything, and I wanted to tell her that I was okay, just like stop her from worrying. And it turned out that she didn't worry. In fact, she blocked me. Even the other one's souls blocked me. And yeah, I like for some reason it set off like a shock within me, and I I couldn't believe it, I guess, even though somewhere deep down I kind of expected it. And yeah, I sat there for a few moments until like Dad, he just like called back to me, because like he was like, "Do you want to go to school today?" Because like technically I didn't really have to, because like it was the last days, half days, and all that. And I said no. Sometimes I wish that I would have went, but at the same time, it just I just couldn't, because I knew that I'd probably break down, and I couldn't really cause Dad any more problems, because I had gotten into DSS and guidance before, and I actually did need therapy, but my father told me, no, you are not allowed. He's like, they don't really work, they're only in it for the money, and like he kept putting stuff in my head and everything. I wish sometimes that I wouldn't have listened, but I just listened. I don't know whether it's good or whether it's bad or whatever. And eventually throughout summer, I got serious with harming myself. Like at first, it was just because I never had a really good strong outlet for my emotions, and I always overreacted. And I didn't want to put that on people. I didn't want to like make everyone think, "Oh, it's my fault that she's overreacting." I didn't want to do that, and I felt so bad whenever I would. And so I took it out on myself. And I didn't only take it out on myself, like, physically, I also took it out mentally, and it just got really hard during that time. Because,
I understand why you went through that. But it wasn't like, it was early 8th grade. It was like 6 or That's when I was, that's when I think so, because I was seeing like everything. I was like, when I was like my dad left me, but I stayed with my now I'm with my he has papers, but he just went there.
Yeah. Me, I'm kind of in the same situation, but at the same time, I'm not. I mean, like, if you want to know, like, my life story basically summed up, it's, like, at least my family life story. I was abandoned by my mother at 3. Me and my brother both were. We were taken into a foster home, and then at age 5, my dad basically found me in a foster home, and he was only allowed to take me because I was, I guess, his blood child. And my brother had to be left behind. And I'll have you know that my brother, he went through a very hard time. He was abused very, very badly to the point where his mentality struck its end, and he couldn't think right anymore. And yeah, I got really sad about that, and I didn't know what to do, like, for him. I wanted to stay with him because, like, well, who wouldn't? That's your brother, you know, you loved him, and it's been everything. In fact, while he was, like, getting abused as a and, like, I was a baby, and as he was getting abused as a toddler, he had at least the kindness of a mindset to come and feed me things when my mother and her boyfriend wouldn't. And I just really owe him a lot, and I feel bad for leaving him because now I don't really know where he is, and I just want to see him again. But he's evidently he's back with my mother, and evidently she's still on drugs, and she's taking his pills and selling them. I don't know how to deal with that because I'm not there, and you know I want to be there, but I'm also not old enough to be there, and it's just a really big problem where I'm worrying about things that, you know, normal people tell me you shouldn't worry about that. I do. I worry about the people who haven't really harmed me in the head.
You are a human being. You have a heart, so you have to like worry about your family.
And like most of my family hasn't really treated me right anyway, because like I said, dad he ignores a lot of stuff that really goes on, and like he would ignore what was going on with me. I don't know if some nights that he would hear me cry, but he would just like he'd ignore me. I don't know if it's because he's a guy and he just can't deal with quote unquote feminine stuff, but you know, it's just there, and it's hard to go through because you know you expect to just have two parents. You're expecting that, and it's terrible because when I talk about parents, you know, it just reminds me of how elementary school went. A lot of kids, they didn't like me because, and I'm not kidding when I say this, they didn't like me because I didn't have a mom. They just really didn't like me because I had her. And my dad couldn't really get off of work. Cause you know how you had the mommy donut days or daddy donut days like that? Yeah, I never brought anyone to those, and kids like just watched me. And they just like just watched, and they sometimes they made fun of me, and they're like, haha, you're lonely, like, hey, where's your mom? Hey, don't you ever have a mom? And like it's stuff that you shouldn't really make fun of. And but they did, and I was really happy at the time, so whatever, I ignored it. It was fine.
That I feel you. That's like what happened to me. But I was like early on, like I was thinking like too much about shit. Like, why did my mom didn't come? My dad's in Mexico. He doesn't want to come. Like, what the fuck?
My thing was, I understood to a viewpoint.
About it, but my mom, like, then I started thinking, like, my mom is working for me. I have brothers. She has to feed them. I'm not the only mouth she has to feed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just taking space. I was, like, thinking too much. I was like,
yeah, I get you.
Then this girl, like, she made me like fall in love with her like really really bad. Like, then she just dumped me like dump grab me like threw me to the trash like just ain't
Dang. Man, I've had that happen to me too. It really sucks. Like people just they take your heart, they chew it up, and they spit it out, and then they're just like, I'm leaving.
Yeah, they had like gum, like they're just using you to do your way. But I was like, shit, like I loved her like really bad. Like I would do anything. Like she made me cut myself like really bad. I have a big scar going down my arm. Every time I look at it, I think about her. I say, fuck.
It's like very bad.
So fucking,
That's bad. Like you should never do that for anybody. You should never really harm yourself for anybody, no matter how much they tell you that they love you.
One time you get like really, really in love.
Yeah.
You will understand like every shit.
No, I've really truly gotten in love and like I've fallen in love, and it actually sucked because I did a lot of stuff that I probably, if I was in the right mind, I wouldn't have done. And I guess I wouldn't feel so regretful about it if that's, possible.
Like to be honest, like let me finish talking. Like like the girl, she threw me away. Then she went to my best friend. Like I used to tell him everything. Yeah. And he told everything to her. I said, what the fuck? Like everything I told him and told her, like they got together. Like every time, like sometimes I got afraid they were talking shit about me. I was like, fuck. Then I left them, like just being yourself. Like I was thinking like, man, fuck this shit. I was like, I went to do my own shit. I was like, she's not the only girl in my life, so.
With me, I've been feeling really regretful lately. Like, I don't know if it's just you. When your dad wasn't around, were you like bullied because you weren't a certain way?
Yeah, like I was like.
It was me. I was bullied because I evidently don't have enough femininity. Yeah, because like people said, you fight all the time and you're so mean all the time and you play too rough, and that it just like it came to that point and I didn't know what to do because like I said, my mother, she abandoned me when I was 3. So like there's nothing much I can actually do about that.
But he comes to see me sometimes, so I'm good. Like I'm proud of that. Like he comes see me, so I tell him everything. So
I've only ever seen her once. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I've only ever seen her once, and that was when I was I think 7. And I remember the encounter went like this. I haven't seen my mom in years, and she decided to come, and I like asked for her, and I kept asking for her. I asked her, "Hey, can you build this transformer with me? Because we went to McDonald's, and I got a transformer, and whatnot." And like I torn it apart. It's easily like you can put it back together and everything. I didn't know how to put it back together, so like I said, "Hey, can you like help me like build this again?" She was on the phone, and she was just talking on the phone, and she kept like saying 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute like that, and she just kept staying on the phone. And I eventually it got to the point where I got so sick of her being on the phone and saying 1 minute, 1 minute, because 1 minute had turned into like an hour and a half later. And I went up to my dad and I said, "Take her home."
That's kind of fucked up too. Like she was more focused on the phone.
Like her daughter, she hasn't seen in years. Let me remind you, she's had 3 children. My older sister, who I've probably only ever seen once in my life, was severely abused by her. Literally, my mom would walk in the room, and I kid you not, she would pee herself. got that bad. And one time when my brother was an infant, he's my older brother, by the way. One of my older brothers, the one I haven't seen in years. He was an infant and he was crying, and she went in there, and he stopped crying. Yeah, when she came back out, you finally realized, like, what she had did, because in the morning, my brother woke up, and, like, everything that my dad got him, evidently, to make my brother quiet, she had punched him and given him a black eye.
Damn, that's wrong, bro.
And see, this is the mother that I was told of, so I don't know if she's any different. I don't know who exactly she is, and I really want to. I really have family problems, man.
Mm-hmm. I understand, but there's a lot of shit happening in this fucking world. Like, this world's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So it's like, there's a lot of kids who just like don't learn right because their parents, they're not there for them.
Well, me, it's really my family, because my family basically, it's very dysfunctional, and there's barely anyone who really truly loves me in it, because they only wanted to be with me when I was a kid, and now that I'm a teen and kind of getting older, they want nothing to do with me.
That's fucked up.
And just now, like, I've been growing up a girl ever since I was little and everything, ever since I was born. Just now, a part of my family actually wants most of the girls, they want to teach me how to be a girl, quotes, by the way. And I don't get it, because, like, I've spent so long just being myself, right? And it's so confusing, because, like, thanks, but you realize that I'm 16 now, right? And I've went all my life going one way, and all of a sudden you're telling me to be a girl. Being a girl means that you wear makeup. Being a girl means that you are pretty, pristine, have no pimples. Being a girl means that you are delicate. Being a girl, and they kept just... It's so confusing, and I'm so confused on everything within my life, and I'm just gonna rename this live stream to I'm just gonna rename this live stream to the major vent, like when it's posted and everything.
That's the type.
Hey Tiana, how you doing? Wow, guess what's happening?
What?
The phone's shut down, that's what's happening. Oh, yay. Yeah, but I'm gonna rename this live stream to Venti Live or whatever. When I get the chance to post it. If I post it. You never know. Yeah, I got a real sad story. It's not even all of it, I just kept skipping around because, like I said, I go on off a billion different topics because I can never keep myself on one thing. But yeah. There you go, sad story. Well, actually, yeah, I walked in and I was crying, and you tried to help me. I get it when you don't want to help me. You're probably not the one person to be completely emotional. You're probably not the one person, like, to be okay with that. So, I don't really blame you for, saying that you want to leave me alone or whatever. Like, most people never really wanted to, like, deal with me anyway, so I'm kind of used to it. Not in a bad way, by the way. So, yeah. I wonder if I've had enough to drink, to smoke, to swallow. I'm drowning in my sorrow. 'Cause I'm empty inside, just don't feel alive. Don't wanna live yet, I'm too scared to die. My body's shaking. What do you try not to? Yeah, you can tell me something personal, it's alright. I keep doing this. I can handle these pressures. All I can say is the stress hurts. Things are supposed to get better. I just need to put myself first. I'm always trying my hardest not to apart. This energy's killing my vibes now. Sometimes I just want to drown out all of this stuff in my mind. Too much going on at the same time. I wish it could stop, and I've tried, but life just looks at me. I'll die. That's just reality. Don't lie to me. Yeah, I'm up, but I don't want to be. I wonder if I'm good enough, but maybe I've just had too much to drink, to smoke, to swallow. I'm drowning up my sorrows. Those rules I never follow. Pretend there's no tomorrow. I wish there was no tomorrow, 'cause I'm empty inside. Yeah, I'm empty inside. And I don't wanna live, but I'm too scared to die. I'm empty inside. I just don't feel alive. But I'm too scared to live, and I don't wanna die. You remember that one time when I was telling you how, when I was 12, how this 21-year-old guy came up to me, and before I knew what was happening, he took basically what I had left to call me innocent away. Yeah, don't worry, I feel you. I mean, I should have followed the rule. I mean, it's my fault. I should have followed the rule, like stranger danger, I guess. But it's really my fault. I trusted him though, so that's this bad. Yeah. The thing I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you were here when I was telling people about it. I was talking about how there was something that I wasn't ready to say. The something that I wasn't ready to say was actually linked to the guy. It was where my parents found out what had happened, because it happened and I never told anybody. And because, I didn't think anything bad of it. Yeah, it felt very wrong and I didn't know what was going on. But then things got bad because my family started calling me names. And I just this is very hard to say because I didn't know that I was doing wrong, but at the same time I thought I was doing wrong, and it felt so okay but so wrong at the same time. And eventually my parents found out, and then people started calling me names, and I didn't know what those names meant because I was just a little girl and I wasn't supposed to know what those names meant, and they weren't supposed to just abandon me like that, but they did. So, and I probably just have abandonment issues. I don't care anymore. I live a very sad life, and I try to make it better, but at the same time everything just keeps getting in the way. I'm trying my best, though. And if I'm trying my best, I guess that's all I can do. I got a headache. Hi, Death Heart. You just missed all the sadness. I guess that's a good thing, though. You don't really deserve to be sad, you little munchkin. I've had enough. You were here for all that sadness. I'm sorry, man. Some friends who like to talk about that just, go into it. It's alright, though. I mean, I've said it so many times, it's basically getting really tiring to say it. So, what's the deal with it just going up on another place? It's just there. Wake me up. Feeling so stuck. Hey, Abby. Can you, text, Katie and get her on here? Oh, it's alright. It's good to eat. Which, by the way, if I'm allowed to explain, throughout the time when I was basically telling about what happened during 8th grade, I was telling about that because, and I kept saying, and I kept going, 'cause when I say, and I keep going off on little tangents, it just means that I'm trying to think of it because I've really most of the stuff that I say, I want to try really hard to bury deep down in my mind. It's usually the bad things that I want to bury down in my mind. And I just have to think of what really happened, so yeah. But the basics of what happened is it ended in a happy note, let's just say that. I'll finish the story because like I said, you are the baby girl, little Death Heart. You are the baby girl, Death Heart. You are the baby girl. But like I was saying, the one thing that just kept going on was I got very I don't like saying the word. I'll say it though. I got very suicidal, and it's not something that many of my family members just wanted to accept, I guess. Then again, who would really want to accept that? Like, what I'm talking about acceptance, so that should have been there, is trying to help and not ignore it because, yeah, most people ignored it, and that is not the correct way to go about it, I guess. But like I was saying, I got just really sad, and I started letting thoughts eat away at me. Um, it's something. It's very hurtful, basically. Um, I just got really hurt on myself, and it got to the point where I wasn't really looking after myself. Everything stopped like that though, because everything basically stopped like that because I remembered that I had to go to Avid summer school, And because I went to average summer school, I met one of my very, very good artist friends there. And had I not went, I probably would have still been in like the same little sad little boat, just floating down like a little river of sadness into the big ocean of sadness. Um, yeah, I'm glad I went to Avid summer school. You know, I probably should have said this a long time ago, but Avid would never really let me, and I never really would want to admit it in front of hundreds of people. But Avid was one of the things that actually helped me to live, not just as a student who would really, go and go to college or live life with, the assurance that I would have money. Avid actually really helped me survive because it helped me meet some of my new friends. It helped me have a voice. It really helps. And I want to tell people this, but it's hard because school doesn't allow that type of talk. You should know. Um, it it just doesn't allow it. It doesn't allow any talk about race. It doesn't allow any talk about religion unless it's between the kids. But at the same time, I'm held to a high standard because I am an avid, so I'm not supposed to be like that. Which, by the way, if I can say something really funny, um, if I can say something really funny, um, for the past few weeks, I've been writing on sticky notes. And this may not seem like much, but it's a lot to me because most of the sticky notes just have like really positive little notes on them that I just come up with off the top of my head, or just like stuff. But there's like just stuff that's so amazing. I can't. Jesus. I'm sorry. The music kind of got me into it. Now where was I? Oh yeah, I was writing sticky notes and like I would come up with stuff or stuff that just like challenged you to do better. Like, oh really? Did you just say that? Well, you know what? I'm gonna be better than that. Yeah, like stuff like that that would just make people want to. And I guess I feel kind of like prideful within myself because like I'm proud that I'm able to do that. Death Heart, do I help you get through the sad thing? Um, I'm not as sad as I used to be, so it's pretty easy for me to ignore it and try to push on through life. Um, yeah, sometimes I get really, really sad, like I used to be, but at the same time, I've gotten stronger because I don't hurt myself anymore. And that's it's one of the things that, I feel really great about. I, I don't know why, I guess just like accomplishment out of life. Yeah, and I just I do normal things like I draw, I try to sing, and yeah, it's really cool. If you can call that cool. Um, but yeah, you do help because you're you and you're awesome. Okay, and that's all you need to like remember that you are awesome. I will be right back though. I need to use the restroom. Give me a minute. Thank you for the offer, Death Heart. But I'm pretty sure that I can deal with most of the sadness on myself. I don't really want to burden anyone with it either because, most people that I do choose to talk to it about have gotten sick of it. It's even I hate to say that. I keep on questioning a lot of things I'm saying. Really shouldn't be saying, but oh well. That's the thing about admitting stuff. Say stuff that you never thought you would. Boys, I was busy dreaming about boys. Go in the garden, you'll find something waiting. I don't even remember the lyrics. This is so Let me try again. Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting. Right there where you left it. Right, lying upside down. And when you finally find it, you'll see how it's faded. The underside is lighter. You turn it around. Everything stays right where you left it. Everything stays, but it still changes ever so slightly, daily and nightly, in little ways, when everything stays. Wow, I guess that's cool. I have 0 dislikes. I don't understand why I actually care about the like-dislike ratio anyway. Quite stupid, honestly. Like, yes, it might actually tell you how many people like you or how many people dislike you. But at the same time, it just doesn't matter. I really want to be focused on how my YouTube channel isn't for popularity and how it's really just for me, myself, I guess. Ah, God, I have a really ugly voice. And an ugly laugh. Everything's about me is ugly, oh well. So that's how it sounds. I want this to hover. Then I'm gonna shake it and I'm gonna slowly pull it back. Do you really want to see me? Because I am ugly. Yeah, sure. I am an ugly bean anyway. It's okay that you can't spell. Sometimes I can't spell either. I'm not. Okay, I guess I cleaned it off as much as I could. Don't ask questions about this. I'm just doing what I think that I should do. I'll get my girly back there. She's very beautiful. I actually can't call you right now because my phone keeps on like dying like a really big butthole. I wish we could call there. That'd make this a lot more interesting. Let us see how I'm doing. With charge battery, I mean. There we go. Vibrate. I should probably brush my hair, do my makeup. And before I do live streams, I should just do a lot of stuff. I'd look better. Well, I would look better. You have 18 subs? Well, congrats! I'm still stuck at I don't know, probably 100. I don't know. I don't really check the sub count anymore. I don't know if that's really bad or whatever. But oh well, I try. I try my best. HD. Quality 720. I have 115 subs. Oh, thanks. What are you doing? Why the hard eyes? Let me just read something. If I'm allowed to. Let me read Purple Can Survive Plane Crashes. If I can find it. Oof. Here it is. Purple can survive astronomical crashes. Space is quite the spectacle to behold. It can... let me just, use myself, yeah. Do it again, I mean. Okay. Purple can survive astronomical crashes. Space is quite the spectacle to behold. It can kill and trap and make us fear, yet marvel at it all the same. Purple, aka Juliet, had been into space for almost her entire life. The 4'11" girl still had not hit her growth spurt, the 4'11" girl still had not hit her growth spurt, but she was still hoping. It was just after she had finished high school that a space program was opened. She had to make the decision of a lifetime, give up college and a higher degree, and be crazy enough to go and see space. Or go to college for a higher degree. Of course she chose the latter, and came to figure out that not as many as that not as many as she thought tried out as she had expected. There were no tests against durability of the takeoff, which also surprised her. It was probably against the law as well, but she could not care about laws when she was finally going to achieve one of her long lifetime dreams. From that point on, she would come to remember nothing more of her past, and her new future would be a roller coaster that she would only curse space and bless it over and over again for. You know how in those movies it's comical to throw a bucket of water over someone who passes out or won't wake up? That was almost what Juliet received. However, she was neither unconscious nor asleep as she watched all controls fail. Brad and Lena had panicked, but all Juliet could feel was her eerie calmness. She would die? The question repeated itself in her head, and with each one she found her conscience slipping away, not to the darkness, but to a calmer state of mind. She sat down the best she could as the gravity started to enter her molecular field. She remembers seeing the parachute go up and then flaming holes burst through for her to see. All sound stopped as her stomach lurched upward and her head hit the ceiling. The metal gave way as Juliet could barely take notice of the blood, some from her own head, but most from her two companions. Instead of waking up from the water encountering her, Juliet finally let go, lost in a black abyss, both physically and mentally. No one knows how long she was on that shore, but it could not have been for long, or the sun would have ended her life. Waking up, Juliet found sand in her eyes. She eagerly dusted her hands off, then freed her eyes of their temporary prison. The first thing she set her eyes on was not the water, the trees around her, nor the island. It was the purple moon. Its larger, green companion was next to be found. The awe of it struck her. She was not in her solar system anymore, and if she was, then this was a new planet. Perhaps from a concussion or just by her innocent nature, not one thought of danger crossed her mind. She entered the forest and began to look around. She came to accept the fact that almost everything, animal-wise, was pure white. Not that she minded it. In fact, she loved white. After a while, her excitement had died down, and she realized that she did not know anything about the place in which she had crash-landed. It took her a moment to realize something. The lighting around her was as if it were daytime. She touched her head lightly as a sharp pain shot through it when she stood up finally. Pulling back, she saw her blood. "Oh no," she said. She felt herself grow anxious and started to breathe. She vaguely remembered how the rocket had a first aid kit on it, and almost felt angry at how helpless she was. She slipped off her suit and found her gray tank top underneath, along with her black cargo pants. She tore a long strip off of the suit with the sharp shell she had looked around and found. Once cut, she tried to wrap it around her head to stop the bleeding. She stopped as quickly as she had started, as she remembered that she needed to clean it before she could wrap it up. And so that was where the search began. At least the white animals didn't bother her. They acted like they couldn't see her, if anything. Going in the lush forest even further, she took note of the trees, almost stone. They were gray and had a mix of blue-green leaves, like seaweed in cartoons, but darker. The trees were tall as well, and they didn't look like they could be cut down, so that was entirely out of the question for any housing, even if she had been strong enough. Soon she felt hot, almost too hot. She looked up and saw that the moons were almost gone. Only the purple moon's tip-top was to be seen, as if warning and telling her that she better hide as well. The heat soon picked up quicker than she had ever felt, and in seconds she felt like she was burning alive. She ran until she found a den type of place under one large tree. Once under, she felt slightly cooler. Looks like she would have to wrap her head up dirty. She waited for the longest time, not daring to peek. The heat had taught her a lesson. Now she was hungry, weak, and thirsty, but she could do nothing but wait. A sudden gust of wind blew around her as she closed her eyes. She froze, not daring to breathe. She wasn't alone. Then there was a growl. This caused her to open her eyes and look around. She was greeted face to face by a giant wolf. It stared at her for the longest time before it turned and disappeared down a hole on the far side of the small cylinder room. Had that been there before? She asked herself as she crawled over and looked in. Now that she could see in the dark, she saw that it was deeper. She remembered the rule that she had created for herself back when she was a child. The deeper, the cooler. Meaning, the best place for a burning human to be at peace. She slid herself down and saw the white wolf about to turn a corner. It turned back to her for a moment before it continued. She decided to follow the wolf. What harm could there really be? She came to know that the underground area was huge, like a larger scale model of an ant colony. These animals had lived here their entire life. It made sense, really, that they would be underground by now. As she journeyed lower into the depths, she found that there were crystals that lit the way, all in different colors and sizes. She marveled at them briefly before following the wolf again. The wolf was just going down. Maybe it had been too hot as well, considering it had fur on it. Or maybe it was leading her to water. Food, even. That got her hopes up slightly, and she cursed herself as her stomach started to growl. By Death Heart. I was talking to myself, wasn't I? That's depressing. Because I live like a friend, I'm purple, guys. Sorry, gotta go. Bye. Well, who's still here? Jesus, I need to stop being sick. I'm really tired. Who is watching right now? I'm gonna look at all my emojis. I wonder if this is a light bulb or a moon. Oh, it's a light bulb. What is that? What is this? Wind chime. Noise. You know what? Since I have nothing better to do, I'm just gonna read all the emojis. Grinning. Grin. Joy. Raffle. Smiley. Smile. Sweat smile. Laughing. Wink. Blush. Yum. Sunglasses. Hard eyes. Kissing heart. Kissing. Kissing smiling eyes. Kissing closed eyes. relaxed, slight smile, hugging, thinking, neutral face, expressionless, no mouth, rolling eyes, smirk, persevere, disappointed, relieve, open mouth, zipper mouth, hushed, sleepy, tired face, sleeping, relieved, nerd, stuck out tongue, winking eyes, stuck out tongue, closed eyes, drooling face, unamused, sweat, pensive, confused. Wonder if I've had enough to drink, to smoke, to swallow. Upside down, money mouth, astonished, frowning too, slight frown, confounded, disappointed, worried, triumph, cry, sob, frowning, anguished, fearful. Weary, grimacing, cold sweat, scream, flush, dizzy face, rage, angry, innocent, cowboy, clown, lying face, mask, thermometer face, head bandage, nauseated face, sneezing face, smiling imp, imp. Japanese ogre, Japanese goblin, skull, ghost, alien, robot, poop, smiley cat, smile cat, joy cat, hard eyes cat, smirk cat, kissing cat, scream cat, crying cat face, pouting cat, boy, girl, man, woman, older man, older woman, baby, angel, cop, spy, guardsman, construction worker, man with turban, person with blonde hair, Santa, Mrs. Claus, princess, prince, bride with veil, man in tuxedo, pregnant woman? Oh wow, they do have everything. Man with GUAP mouth, person frowning, person with pouting face, no good, okay woman, information desk person, raising hand, bow, face palm, shrug, massage, haircut, walking, runner, dancer, man dancing, dancers, bust in silhouette, couple, two men holding hands, two women holding hands, couple kiss, kiss woman, kiss man, kiss woman, couple with hearts, couple couple WW. Family, wife, girl, family, wife, girl, boy, family, wife, boy, family, wife, girl, muscle, selfie, point left, point right, point up two, middle finger, point down, peace, fingers crossed, metal, call me, hand splayed, raised hand, okay hand, thumbs up, thumbs down, fist, punch, left facing fist, right facing fist. I'm tired of this already. Yeah. I don't feel good. I'm just gonna end the live stream now. Barely anybody's watching. Well, bye. It's been ink. Whatever. Just go check out my DeviantArt. I think I'll put that in a comment. Probably. Well, bye guys. And remember, if you're new, please subscribe. Have a nice night, day, whatever. Chocolate and kisses, and I hope you're alright for the rest. Bye-bye.